If we can't operate healthily, then I'm failing as a CEO.
Guys, NIO CEO reaffirms profitability and says that it must happen, otherwise he's not suitable as a CEO. Very, very shocking. And this is, of course, coming at a critical juncture where a lot of competitors are failing and the CEOs have escaped the country. The most recent example is NIO or Neta Automobiles. Their CEO has fled to the UK. And of course, things are not looking too great for them. The factories have all closed down. They have they've owed basically 400 million RMB plus in unpaid fees to dealerships, to salaries of workers, to these suppliers, etc. And it's becoming a disaster. And here in China, when companies fail, the CEO flees the country. And there's been some comments saying that, William Li should also be, his passport should be confiscated to prevent this from happening. So it comes at a critical juncture. But let's talk a little bit more about Neta. I have a clip to show you guys.
We're over 20 of the 300 plus NIO auto dealers nationwide. For 6 months, NIO's been stalled. Layoffs, shutdowns, debt, but we dealers haven't quit. Since last September, the manufacturer hasn't responded to us at all. Many stores paid millions as required, but no cars delivered, no refunds given. Don't abandon 400,000 plus NIO owners.
So that is, of course, the dealerships, Neta dealerships. They paid money for the cars. The factory, the company took the money but never delivered those cars, and they're not issuing refunds. Neta is one of the classic examples of how this EV price war has taken its toll. Their sales in 2024 has dropped 40% compared to 2023. Their sales in January of this year was only 110 cars. All 3 factories stopped producing cars, massive layoffs. A lot of their stores are closed. Nobody's brave enough to even buy their cars, and this is just a death spiral for them, and it's pretty much game over for them, right? Pretty much game over. There's nothing else to be said, and the CEO has fled the country. Another example of that. Another example of CEO fleeing the country is, of course, Faraday Future, FFIE. Yeah, the CEO fled the country to escape its debts and all that kind of problems. Of course, Neta also owes a lot of money. So the CEO fled the country, so he doesn't want to be liable or responsible for that. So what about NIO? Well, NIO CEO, recently they celebrated the 100,000th delivery in Shanghai. So 100,000th Shanghai NIO owner, basically. And they had the celebration in Shanghai, and William Li took center stage and said this. Have a listen.
If the future isn't profitable or sustainable, if we can't operate healthily, then I'm failing as a CEO. I'd also be failing as a friend to all of you. So I hope I can count on your continued support. Many friends have given me excellent advice. Whether through the app or email, I've received all your feedback. I listen, I watch, and I consider everyone's input. Each issue's importance and perspective may vary. Please keep sharing your suggestions with us.
So, of course, he reaffirms profitability. Profitability must be achieved, otherwise he's not suitable. He kind of said that, sort of implying that if they can't reach profitability, then he's not suitable as a CEO and perhaps needs to be replaced. And I know a lot of investors have called for a change of management to change the CEO, so to speak. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do think they need help from outside the company. They need someone with traditional automobile manufacturing experience, bring them on board to really, make things right. All right, make things right to make sure that everything's going well and make sure that they're profitable. But I guess this is sort of reassuring investors in the sense that if they don't get profitability, there's a chance that the CEO might be replaced. You might get a new CEO to basically run the company if they don't reach profitability. So another interesting thing is, he continues to take advice and input from other people. A lot of people tell them what's going on or what's going wrong. Like in my case, in my previous video, there's clear mismanagement from the stores, inside the stores. Report that up there. Make sure they make the necessary changes so that it doesn't affect sales. And of course, a lot of the different ideas, they do see if they can implement them to make the company a lot better. So this is definitely a welcome sign. And as investors, I think this means that the CEO is fully committed to bring profitability to the company. And if they don't do that, he is kind of saying that his job is at stake. Okay? And I think investors' patience have run dry as well. Like, if they can't get profitable, their goal is Q4 of this year. But more realistically, it's probably next year for profitability. But let's say until the end of 2026, if NIO still can't get profitable, then perhaps it might be time for him to take a back seat and let someone else drive the car. And I think William Li will be an excellent chairman, right? He should be just the chairman, sort of guide and continue with the visionary aspect of the company, but then have someone run the day-to-day operations to make sure that, there's more money coming in than money going out, so to speak, right? Make sure that they're profitable, which is the most important aspect. And I think it's becoming harder and harder to get financing. And you saw the most recent round of dilution. I mean, that amount of money is only enough for like a quarter, basically, or even less than 1/4 of cash burn rate at their Q4 cash burn rate. So it's getting harder and harder for them to raise money. So profitability becomes an even greater goal for them. I'm sure he's feeling the heat. A lot of people are feeling the heat as well. Shareholders have been just decimated, right? From $60 all the way down to $3, right? Completely destroyed. Shareholder value completely destroyed. And you really need profitability to bring this ship back to the right course. And if he can't do that, then I think it's very brave for him to admit that, perhaps you need someone else that can. So this is definitely good news. Good news. If profitability doesn't achieve by the end of 2026, I would assume we get a new CEO. Okay? Me personally, I think William Li is a great CEO, and I think he can steer the ship in the right direction. And going forward, he can probably get everything right and, allow NIO to become profitable. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.